What's up guys, Chris here with another 4 Nights of the Apocalypse manga chapter review on the 50th chapter of the series. And I gotta admit, this year for 4 Nights started off strong, and within the first year anniversary, we got Lancelot's reveal, and last chapter we had a fight with Fittich, and how it was just a one-sided beatdown, and just how Lancelot has been able to just keep quiet, and no one knows about him, like, at all. And I gotta admit, very good chapter all around. And this week, well, it wasn't action-based, and it was relatively slow. It helped build up more of Lancelot's own character, and it probably sets us up for the next arc, which I'm very excited for. But before we get into this chapter, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram and Twitter if you guys want to be updated if the notifications do not work on YouTube. That tends to happen from time to time, as well as whatever else I will decide to post on my social medias in the coming future. I also have my Patreon and Coffee accounts if you guys want to support the channel more directly, as I do want to get much larger projects out in the future, and this will help me get more videos built up in stock at really good quality so I can keep them up. So if you can, please go check out my Patreon and Coffee accounts and help me out. It'll be a huge help. Thank you. And with all that said and done, let's get on to Chapter 50, Bewilderment. Now this chapter starts off with Arthur and Merlin. An amulet I believe that Arthur has been carrying shatters into a bunch of pieces as he realizes that the Dark Talismans have been defeated, and that the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse really are very dangerous to go unchallenged. He was even surprised that the Dark Talismans lost this quickly and how the fight ended very quickly. And so he turns to Merlin asking whether or not he should prioritize this or search for his bride. This is the first time Merlin has ever spoken ever since she was brought back into the series, so I'm just happy to hear her speak again. And she just states Arthur just has to follow his own wishes. What he's going to do is completely up in the air. I think probably he's going to prioritize Lancelot and everyone, but since he did kind of send Ironside off for the search for his bride, so I'm not sure how this is all going to pan out. But yeah, we cut back to the giant forest to see the aftermath of Lancelot's last attack, as it literally cut through the entire forest, showing the outskirts of the sky, as this forest was literally like hard to see, like up into the air. So I like that we got to see the whole aftermath of this giant slash, and everyone is literally like in shock, in like how the chapter was like, in bewilderment. Donnie has speechless. Nazianz realizes this is the exact same power and attack that took out all the monsters in Sistana. On just can't believe it, that he just killed these guys without batting an eye. As Lancelot just says, that's what happens. As he gets a thing in his mind, he reads someone's mind, I'm so glad. And then he turns around as Percival is hugging him in tears, saying how glad he is that he's safe, still calling him Sin. Lancelot, hearing all of his thoughts, that he was scared. He thought it was just going to be like Grandpa, where he couldn't do anything, and didn't know if he would do if Sin died on him. As Lancelot just pats his head, calling Percival by his nickname that he gave him, Percy, saying that he's not Sin, he's Lancelot. As he tosses Donnie's knife back to him, saying that he's going to repay him back Leonis, as Donnie's knife just shatters into a bunch of tiny pieces, as Lancelot's power was too much, put too much strain onto the knife, and after that huge attack, it just shattered from the sheer force of power from it. So, but then Anna confronts him, asking him why he's here, who he is, what's his goal, and why was he around as a fox. He owes everyone here an explanation, and if he doesn't, then forget about trusting him. And as Donnie and Nazianz look at each other nervously, Percival just like, well, I trust him, as Nan just telling him to just keep quiet. I love that. But Lancelot then takes 3 arrows from his gauntlets, imbues them with magic energy, as he states, I am a servant of the King of Leonis. As they're wondering why he's taking out his arrows, wondering if he's going to take them out next, as he shoots his arrows into the ground, creating 3 holes. As he states his objectives right now. 1 is to track down a potential member of the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, and take him and his companions to their kingdom. Once he found them, his job was to guide them along the way and defend them while interfering with their fights and their journey as little as possible. As he then grabs Burge, Dolo, and Elgin, as he continues to explain, and drags them towards these holes. He states that as a Knight of Prophecy and his companions, as he gathers them, he wants to make sure that they had the resolve and drive to overcome any obstacle in their way. We then see Lancelot cover the holes with dirt to properly bury the Dark Talismans. This goes to show that while he did kill them without hesitation, he still values life. Percival goes up to help him bury him, and he asked him a very important question. He asked him about the Starvisor guy and Dubs and why he's looking for them. But Lancelot just says it's personal business. It's nothing that he needs to be concerned with. As he plants the weapons of the Dark Talismans that he's killed, well, aside from Fittich, as he was just completely obliterated with no real remains, he then leaves a plant seed on top of it, stating, they might be dead, but they can continue to exist in life in this tree. So this is something to go with the fairy folk. I do kind of like it. And then, that is really cool that Naldians puts together. Since Lancelot can change his shape and read people's minds, he asks if he's a member of the fairy clan. Lancelot says it's a good question, but Percival wants to test out Lancelot's mind reading abilities, as Percival literally just starts sticking poop multiple times in his head. Poop, 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 poop. This is kind of hilarious, and this is something that Percival would literally do. As Lancelot, pissed off, just grabs Percival's face, saying, I am not saying it. As Lancelot then senses something, we see that it is Pelgard, surfing on what seems to be a shield imbued with magical power. You know, after seeing a flying horse with 8 legs, having Pelgard ride around on a literal shield honestly does not surprise me. But, yeah. So, Pelgard is flying in, and as everyone is stating from the beginning of this arc, Pelgard was sent to dispatch the knights, or basically of his own free will, went to go and find Percival, as he is very interested in him. And Pelgard's honestly kind of surprised that the Dark Talismans have been taken out, and is wondering if Percival has done this, as even he's confused, saying that Percival should not be at this level of power yet. But then he spots them, as Donnie's just freaking scared as Pelgard lands in front of them, as Pelgard, just being Pelgard, just states, hello! I've come by to hang out, Percival. I like Donnie and Percival's reactions to Pelgard's arrival, while On is just wondering who the hell he is. But Lancelot nonchalantly says that they don't really have time to play. Pelgard asks who he is, but honestly, I like that Lancelot saying we're heading out, while Pelgard's asking where he is, as Lancelot whips out a spell bead, as he teleports the entire group away, as Pelgard in shock is just, he came all this way for them. It's just hilarious. The information that we got that Pelgard was heading to this exact location after hearing the Dark Talismans was sent there, getting there right after the Dark Talismans had been defeated in Lancelot's face reveal, and he just basically got blue-balled in this instance. Pelgard is a definitely strong enemy, but he's honestly the funniest character in this show, besides like maybe Percival. As the teleportation comes to an end, Lancelot just states, we're here, as you get a nice 2-page spread, as he reveals they finally made it to the kingdom of Leonis. And my god, does this look nice. It's so nice to finally be where the series initially began. But if we're going to go that far, it'd be hilarious if once they meet Meliodas, they don't go to the castle, but they meet him at the Boar Hat. I want that to happen. I want everyone shocked to see the King of Leonis runs a freaking tavern and spends most of his time there. That would be hilarious and would fit Meliodas to a T. But yeah, everyone is just happy, shocked that they've gotten here so quickly, as Lancelot just leaving them behind saying, quick Gawkin, the king's waiting for you, as the chapter ends. Now, before I give my initial thoughts and predictions, I just want to let you guys know that next week is in fact a break for the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. So, I'm glad Naka's getting some rest. He just brought up banger after chapters, and now we're finally in Leonis, something that's been built up since chapter 5. So yeah, it took a whole year to get here, and we're finally in Leonis. What's going to happen here? We're probably going to meet Tristan, Meliodas, and Elizabeth. I'm just going to be really happy to see them. Maybe we'll get the announcement of the 4th Night of the Apocalypse. We'll see how strong Tristan is. Hell, maybe the next arc will be them trying to find the 4th member of the 4 Knights. It'd be something really cool, and I can't wait to see Meliodas and Elizabeth again. Who knows, maybe Bond will be there too to greet his son. But that's all just completely hearsay in all honesty and wishful thinking. But we'll definitely most likely be able to see a bunch of old faces starting next chapter. Maybe Gil Thunder, Dreyfus, Hauser. We already saw Hauser, but maybe he made it back somehow. But yeah, this chapter was honestly really nice. It showed the humanity in Lancelot. He's not just a straight up killer. As we've seen, he does believe in life and that how it's precious, and does believe that their lives can go on as part of a tree. So, it's obvious he is a part of the fairy folk. Now, here's the thing. Pelgard, honestly, he kind of got screwed over in the sense that he wasn't able to meet Percival again, which is a shame. But hey, that means we're going to get the rematch somewhere down the line. Now, the thing that I am curious about is still, what is Lancelot's personal motives to find this star-shaped visor knight and dub of the Master Craftsman? Last week, I can't find the comment. Last week's video had a couple of comments on it, but one of my comments stated that maybe he's after dubs to perhaps find a way to destroy the Coffin of Eternal Darkness or create weapons that can help counteract chaos, which would be a really cool idea. And I honestly think it'd be something really cool, because if you break one piece of the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, then chances are you're not going to be able to use it. Now, how these next couple of chapters are going to go is beyond me, but I am glad that we're still getting some stuff with Arthur and Merlin sprinkled in between, as almost every arc at the start ever since Sistana has shown Arthur. So I can't wait to see how much of an active role he's going to be playing in the story. I'm wondering the whole story of Arthur and his whole plans and all this. But overall, this whole arc was great. We got to see some major growth for the main cast. Lancelot has finally revealed himself and shows just how much of a badass he is. I can't wait to see what happens next, and can't wait to see Meliodas and Elizabeth again. And I might make a separate video on Lancelot and his motives towards the Stargazer guy with what we know so far, or just a video on Lancelot in general. Or maybe just a full-on theory video in the end. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure this out. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do to replace 4 Knights for next week. But for now, that's all up in the air, and I have nothing finalized as of yet. But yeah, what are your thoughts and opinions of this chapter and how we're finally here in Leonis, and what's gonna happen next? Who we're gonna see first? Because I feel like Meliodas is going to be left for last. But yeah, leave your thoughts and opinions down below on your thoughts and opinions of this chapter. Do you like this video? What kind of theories and discussions would you guys like to hear in the future? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.